All right, everybody. Welcome to the first ever video on the Hines Livestock channel here. My name is Jack Hines, and I am a 22-year-old who just graduated from college this week. And I've been working on locking down a lease to run some sheep on, Katahdin hair sheep particularly. And I was able to acquire this lease. This landowner's a great landowner. We worked out a deal. She's excited to see something new happening out here. This property hasn't seen livestock since 2018. And since then, it's been getting hayed to death. So she's really excited to see the land improve and get better with livestock. So it's a pretty sweet spot. I'm located in north central South Dakota, and I'm going to be running a rotational grazing program and be managing the grass as diligently as I can with these hair sheep. So we'll get right into it here, and I'll show you guys around this first lease that I've acquired here. So here's kind of where we headquarters out of. I got this barn here. I keep some fencing supplies in here. There's also a water hydrant in here. Have not figured out where the well turn on is for that. I got the well turned on for a hydrant over there. You guys can probably hear the water running. But we do have a hydrant here in the barn. Pretty sweet old barn, partially collapsing. But I got some of my extra step-in posts in here. Post driver. Got my ground rods for when I put that charger out when the sheep come. But yeah, just sweet old barn in here. Not going to put anything in here just because it's not too structurally sound. But yeah, it's a sweet spot to store some equipment, and has water, so that's great. So this is the first paddock here. I got this built. You guys will have to stay tuned. We're going to have another video coming out in a couple days, just showing how we set up this electric netting here. This is electric all the way down to the last strand, or you can go in the high grass mode and eliminate these 3 rungs, which I might be doing here because we're dealing with some brushy stuff out here. But yeah, and then these are just step in too. Got a double stake in them, so that's pretty sweet. But that's another video about the infrastructure. So we'll get right into this thing. This is where I enter the property through this back driveway over here. It's just an easy way to get in because the landowner's house is up behind, and I don't want to be bothering her all the time. So then we come out here. I've got my portable water tank system here with a water heater valve on it. That thing works pretty slick. It's way more simple than the other ones that I've looked at it, like runnings and whatnot. So that thing's awesome. Happy to have a nice portable water setup. Very fortunate for that. So this is the first paddock here that we're going to be rotating through. Should last us probably the first 10 or 15 days of rotating. Nice and close to home. Got easy access to water just to get these sheep acclimated out here. But overall, nice paddock. I think this is about 1.5 acres in here, and then there's another 3 acres up here that we'll go show you. Yeah, the grass out here is just gorgeous. I mean, it's pretty awesome for being hayed as hard as it was. Yeah, but this is the fallen down barn that we were just in there a minute ago. Pretty sweet old barn there. There's a little bit of grass back in there, and a way we can cut through those pastures to the south that we'll get to in a minute. Let me hop over this fence. Got a couple of big old silos here too. But yeah, walking out here, there's a road that runs along here, just a minimum maintenance, so that's pretty sweet. Don't have to worry about too much traffic, or if something was to get out, not too many issues there. But yeah, there's the back of that paddock. And then coming down here, we do have nice paneled fence along this edge, which gonna do some real testing out with fence this summer and see what I can get away with, see if I can extend and use some of the existing infrastructure. But here we have a nice pond, nice stock dam, good clean water in here, and there are actually some cement pillars down here, and I'm thinking about trying to utilize this to make a nice drinking pad that doesn't erode away, because we don't want to erode away this water and make this edge all mud bank and crappy looking. So stay tuned for that. I'm sure we'll mow a path down there at some point this summer and get access to that water so we don't have to drag a water tank out here. And then this right here, this is a sweet addition. When I had first been talking with the landowner, we weren't sure if we were going to be able to, I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to use the buildings or not, but she had no other use for this building, and she said I can go ahead and throw sheep in here seasonally if I have a problem, lamb or something, and I need to get out of the elements. She said I can use this barn, and it doesn't look like much from outside, but I'll poke you guys in here. This thing is pretty sweet. It's got nice beams inside still. I mean, very structurally sound, and it's got some gates in here. So yeah, this thing is going to be absolutely awesome to have, because I'm sure we're going to run into a health problem or something where we need to bring an animal inside. So that's that barn, and now we're heading to the east here. So we're facing north right now, and then this is east over here. This is the pond I just showed you. There's some grass back there. That grass was never touched by haying, so we're gonna get the sheep up in there, and we're really gonna work that area over in there and get rid of that old dry grass, and try and get some new good growth going in there. And I'll get in there and clear some of that brush out too. And oh, there's a couple mallards, but yeah, that's that. Then we're to the back of this first pasture division here. They do have some existing fence infrastructure, nothing I'd feel confident keeping sheep in with. But coming back here, this one really excites me. So there was alfalfa planted in here, she said probably 5-6 years ago. You guys can see last year's stand out there. But this is perfect because there's not that much alfalfa left. And this is going to be the perfect amount to not bloat my animals, but still put on a ton of gain. I'll get out here quick and I'll show you just what we got growing up in here. I mean, look at some of this stuff. Just pretty alfalfa. That is going to be some pound gain, money making stuff right there. That's got me really excited. So we got about, I want to say 7, maybe 8 acres back here of all alfalfa orchard grass mix, which is just phenomenal. This is going to be really sweet to mess around with. And I'm planning on doing some bale grazing out here this winter, and I don't think we're going to need to bale graze this. This already has good legumes, as you guys can see, and some really great pasture growth out here already. So I think we'll have to figure out down the road, obviously, where we want to focus that bale grazing this winter. But this is not a marginal area of the farm by any means. So this has me just absolutely fired up to be grazing in here in these legumes. We'll probably be in here in about, I don't know, I would say 20 to 30 days. Hopefully we'll be in this area here and get to do some really high quality grazing and put some nice pounds on this group of ram lambs we're going to be buying. So that's another thing I should talk about is I'm going to start out, I'm buying a group of feeder lambs. They're about 50 to 60 pounds right now. I'm buying them from a guy out of Mason City. And then I'm going to take those hair sheep home here, and we're going to start rotating them through this grass and put pounds on them, and hopefully by the end of the summer have them at that market weight of 100, 110 pounds, maybe a little more, maybe a little less. And then we're going to sell both to the sale barn, and we are looking to sell direct to consumer too. So if anybody is interested in some home pasture raised lamb, drop a comment down below or get a hold of us on our other social media that I'll leave down below. But that'd be a great source of food, and we have pretty affordable prices. So definitely reach out to us if you would like to reserve a lamb. But coming back here, so we're on the south side of the alfalfa here. There's the barn over there that we started at. So we've come over to the east, and now we're pushing back here to the south. And this area actually really excites me. So the landowner emphasized that she wanted us to get back in these trees and start working on some of this underbrush and get these sheep in here and try and clear out a lot of this stuff. So this has me really excited because this is like prime silvopasture material right here. Getting in here and in these trees and clearing this stuff out, and there's good grass growth in here. As you can see, we just gotta clear out some of the dead stuff. And I mean, some of these shrubs and forbs that are in here too, the sheep will just absolutely tear them up. So it's going to be really good to get some animal impact back here in this part of the farm that has never seen any animal impact or haying. So this is completely new grass here that hasn't been touched. So we're going to get sheep back in here and put some pressure on this grass and start to turn it into something that can gain us a couple extra acres of good forage. So then this tree row runs west to east all the way down here to the road, and we're not going to be able to get in every portion. You can see there's some pines and cedars in here that make it a little tough in this section, but we get back to some good hardwood stands down the way a little further. So that's going to be awesome. But we'll cross back over here into this alfalfa field. And then, so here, the thing I can't get over about this property is the water. I mean, this is our second pond right here. Look at this pond. Beautiful clear water in here. Doesn't seem to be algae blooming yet. I'm sure it will later in the year, but right now this is a perfectly good water source. And I'll be looking to do the same thing again. We're gonna get some sort of pea gravel or something and get a nice pad down here. And then we'll cut a lane down so we can run a fence down here and get a nice little water lane going so we don't have to drag a tank over here either. But yeah, so you can see there's some more area for silvo pasture back there. But now we're coming back up this way, back to the west. And this pasture here, same thing. It's about a 6-7 acre pasture. I want to say we're sitting on about 17 and a half, almost 18 acres total of grazable ground. And that pretty much is only excluding her yard that she wants to mow. And the rest, she said the sheep can have that. So getting really excited about that. Great grass growing here too, mostly just some orchard grass and whatnot in this one. But then looking back here, we have some more great silvo pasture. This is going to be an excellent opportunity to pick up a little more acreage and grass and give those animals some shade too, because it's May 7th today and it's already 85 degrees. So definitely could be having a hot summer here if this trend continues. But yeah, so keep coming back across here. Just got some great grass. Can pull water off that hydrant. And then the great surprise today, just got the lease signed today and starting to put fence infrastructure in. You can see up here there's this old windbreak. And we were taking a walk around and the landowner goes, "Oh, I completely forgot to mention, I've got a frost-free tank in here back from when we used to have cattle back in the day. And you can go ahead and if you can figure out how to turn it on, you can use it." So that is absolutely fantastic to hear, because I was already starting to plan for what I'm going to do for winter water. But that about sums it up right there. That was the icing on the cake for this property. So I'll come up here and show you guys this. I have no idea what I'm doing with frost-free tanks or really water systems in general. I figured out how to turn on a well pump today, so this is going to be a learning curve for sure. But we do have a frost-free tank up in here. You can see it's accessed on this side and then the north side too, but got to do some clearing out in there. I don't know exactly what that's all going to entail, but that has me pretty fired up for winter time. So yeah, so we'll come out here and I'll show you guys what we got going on the west side of this property. So there actually is some grazable ground up here. So this is her yard. She told me she's going to cut off at these bins, and then I can have the rest of this ground. So I'm gonna be able to graze all this ground out, and this is that entrance I showed you where I'll be coming in and out of the property. Made a big circle here, back at the truck. But isn't that barn just cool? That barn and silo, that's so cool to me. I'm very, very fortunate to be able to have a property like this. But so here you can see having some issues with that hydrant in there. It doesn't run off this well. I've got some deeper diving to do on what that deal is about, but we do have great water coming off of this hydrant right here. It's running right now. There's the on-off switch for that. The pump is down in there. But yeah, I was kind of worried with the way this hydrant was bent that it wasn't going to work, but I think somebody just backed into it. So then I got 500 feet of polyethylene pipe running into my portable water tank over there, and that's back in that first paddock over there. Cannot wait to get some sheep on this grass and get going. But yeah, so we're coming in here now, and this is another exciting piece. So this is about 3 acres here, and then there's a couple acres out in front of the house. And this also does have a little bit of alfalfa. You can see again, I got last year's stand, and I mean, just look at this. There's already some just beautiful stuff coming up. This is just going to be candy for these sheep when we get going in here. No fence infrastructure in this portion at all. Not that that matters, because we're using that portable fence anyways for the year, just to get started, dip our toes in. So yeah, we got just excellent grass in here. pretty awesome stuff. And then there actually is a pond. It's dry right now because we are a little dry. We could use a little rain. There's a small pond up here, but it doesn't really matter because I got water line coming from back there up to this paddock, so we can divide all this up and run water to this easily. Water is not an issue at this farm. I think this is going to end up going down as the water farm just because of how much water is out here, but this farm is pretty awesome. So we got a little dike right here. Not exactly sure what that was for. It is pretty flat here. I don't know if that was just a dike that runs around the house, keep water out, but there's another little pasture up here on this other side of the dike, and then another little alfalfa pasture up there right in front of her house. So yeah, this is going to be an absolutely fantastic property. Already fantastic landowner. She wants livestock out here, and she wants somebody to be managing this grass and using it for what it's here for. And, we're going to try and put some good gain on some animals this summer and learn as much as we can. So this is going to be a fun summer. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of highs and lows, but we're looking forward to getting into this thing. So yeah, you guys should stay tuned here. Gonna have another video coming out very soon explaining our fence infrastructure and how I'm deciding to break this place up with this portable fence and then move them within it. So that's going to be a good video to watch out for. I'll explain everything from the poly netting to the poly wire to how we're dividing it up to how I figure out paddock sizes, and then finally some water stuff too, but I've already showed you guys some of that. So yeah, stay tuned. Our next video will be showing you all of that stuff, and pretty soon we'll have the sheep in here. Not too long now, less than a week. So we're pumped up to get started out here, and thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned for the next one. See you guys later.